I was 18 years old. I enlisted in Addison Road, Marrickville on the 17th of November 1941. I was a rifleman the whole war. First thing they taught us was how to march. The first day was there, they let us off light. The second day, we marched for 1 mile in our own sand shoes and our own civilian clothes, a mile out and a mile back. Then the next day was 2 miles out and 2 miles back. And that continued, we doing 20 and 30 miles out and 20 miles back. You go out in the day and come home in the night. We went up to New Guinea on a ship called the Taruna. It took 4 to 5 days to get there. We landed, they walked us to a place called Simpson Gap. From then on, we slept on the ground for the whole time. The next time I was in a bed was when I collapsed with malaria. When we were sent to Milne Bay, Captain Albert Moore from the Salvation Army gave every man, 119 of us, 2 pieces of cardboard about 3 inches by 2 inches, and you wrote your letter home, just in case. As I said, we're expendables, that means you wouldn't come back. And that was our Christmas letters. So I was writing them in early June 1942. So I went the full distance over the mountains from Owers Corner to Buna with the 2nd 33rd Battalion. That was the Kokada Trail, yeah. It's about 2.5 feet wide, roughly. It was boiling hot and dusty. And as you went further up the mountains, which is 35 miles from Port Moresby to Owers Corner, that's as far as any vehicles can go. You go straight down into the Goldie River, up the Golden Staircase, which is 2,200 steps cut into the side of the mountain, and it gets you up to Imita Ridge. And from then on, that's when you start to go into the jungle. Now in the jungle, it's of a daytime, it's wet, you never see the sun because the trees is like canopy over the top of it. You never know whether it's raining or whether it's just the trees dripping. Over night time, it's freezing cold, all you got is shorts and shirts. I think the elements just about kill more people than what the Japanese did, yeah. And they were in the same position. The elements were, you have no idea just how bad things were. You know, the rain and the mud. And of course, blokes got pneumonia, didn't know what was wrong with them. No doctors up the mountain, so. And even when you're walking single file, everybody had to change places all the time because the most vulnerable one would be the first bloke up the front, because the Japanese snipers would get in the trees and they had telescopic sights, they'd knock over the bloke in the front. They did some terrible things. When they got to Myolo, as we were pushing them backwards, we found out they were starving, so there was dead bodies laying everywhere from both sides. We was worn out, we was all sick, we had no food. Up in the mountains, we lived on dried apricots, dried prunes and dehydrated apples for about 4.5 months. So everybody lost weight. No matter how big you were, how small you were, you still lost 1/3 of your body weight. Yes, I got to San Fernando, already had a collapse with malaria, and the fuzzy wuzzies, they were unbelievable. Took 8 of them to carry 1 stretcher. I was told by Sister Ruth Campbell in the hospital, it took them 14 days to carry just 1 person, that's me, back to Owers Corner. She was also instrumental in getting me brought home on a hospital ship called the Katoomba. She said, I've got 2 brothers in the Middle East. One's only about your age. And she said, I just hope that somebody's doing the same thing for him.